Hey guys, you're here live with MVI, and today we've got a 2017 Chevy Silverado here. We're going to install our 360 camera kit. It is going to have a front camera put on right here, and we are going to do the molded tow mirror cameras to replace this cap. And then this customer is not doing a third brake light. We do obviously have those. I've got other videos I can show you on that. But we are doing the wired trailer camera, which is kind of what I'm excited to show you guys today, how that's going to work. So as you know, the wireless has been gone for quite a while. This is the same exact camera, only wired. And so I'm going to go over how that works, the parts involved, you know, the pieces for the RV. We can make in custom links to fit your RV or your trailer, whatever you're pulling. The part that's going to go either in the bed if you're doing a fifth wheel, or in the bumper down here. So I'll show you what's involved in installing that, and of course the quick connect for it. Front camera setup, we'll go over that, what all's involved there. Like I said, the molded tow mirror cameras right here, what's involved in that, and finally the GM module, 360 module, all the harnesses that are involved in there. So to start, we're going to go in the vehicle and put the camera module in, and I'm going to do this in bits and pieces, guys. I got to get prepped, so there's going to be several videos. This phone won't last long enough to do videos all day, but we're going to go into that guy first, get behind the screen, hook stuff up, and I'll be back to show you that here shortly. And so what we're going to do now is go ahead and move forward with the camera module itself. So I'm going to kind of go over the connections and whatnot, but you'll be getting this module and some harnessing that's going to tie in behind here, and then also we got to get behind the glove box over there. So to start, we'll go ahead and get the screen out. Just need a pry tool. Now we've already kind of loosened this one to make it easier. These are tight clips. You're gonna feel like you're gonna snap something, and it can sound pretty brutal, but it's yeah, usually just pops right out just like that. And then you got two Molexes down here for your heated seats, heated and cooled seats. Those will come out. And we just set that guy aside. Next, you're going to have 4 7mm in the corners of the screen there. There we go. And the screen itself will just snap right out. Just tug it. Okay. And you are going to have some connections back here. You've got the LVDS video cable, Molex cable right there. And then down there you've got the cable for the HVAC controller. So that can also just set aside. And from here, we'll go ahead and get the glove box out. So there's 4 T15s, 2 on the bottom. And then 2 up top. And just like that, pops right out, and this can just be out of the way till the end of the install. So what I like to do next is go ahead and get the camera module in. And first thing I'll show you, we try to set these with the right dip switches prior to sending them. This is a 17 truck, so I am going to want to turn this number 3 switch down It does say it right there on the top as well. And then it's got LVDS cable. This is going to tie into the HMI behind the glove box. This is where a lot of people go wrong. It does not tie into the screen. It does go behind the glove box. This guy here does tie into the screen. So the 10 pin at the screen, the factory one right back in, and then this of course just plugs into here. And then we got our camera harnessing itself. It does come with leads to power and ground the cameras, so all you gotta do is crimp them on, power and ground for the cameras, and that's all gonna mount right in there. So first thing I like to explain, get that pulled out for me. I like to take these little rubber, because it makes it pretty tight otherwise. It doesn't like to slide in there very easily. I guess maybe I was just proved wrong. So you can leave those feet on there. I have fought them in the past, and if that becomes a problem, take those rubber feet off and take this guy and wrap it around the bottom and up to the top, and it'll allow it to slide in there nice and easily. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and make some connections. I'm gonna do those connections real quick and come back and show you the where they're at, and then I like to test the screen and the functions up before we start mounting and running cameras. So it's always a good idea to put the piece in first, test it, make sure it's actually good. We do test all these prior to shipping. Sometimes things happen though, so that's a strong recommendation. So we're gonna go ahead with the install here real quick, make these wire connections, and I'll be back shortly to show you the outcome of it. Alright guys, so I am back, and you can see here the module in there. I've gone ahead and flipped switch 17 down, and again we do try and catch that before sending it out, so typically you don't need to mess with it. These are our camera leads, which we don't really need right now to test, but I am just going to have it here laying out of the side. And I've gone ahead and plugged in our screen T connector here, rolled up the excess, tucked it away. So this is now going to plug into the screen. Factory LVDS will just go back in, and then the LVDS for the camera module. I went ahead and if you take out the 3 7s, it's much easier to route this harnessing down, and then just plug that vent back in, and that just comes right out. And then right down here guys, you go to the blue one on the HMI. So you're going to unplug the blue USB, plug it into our female, and then our LVDS is going to plug right back in. So with that said, this is what I was talking about. I go ahead and pause right here, plug in the screen. We're going to test functionality before we go through and run cameras and find out we got a problem. So it's always good to test your stuff before moving to the next step. So screen is on, and we're just going to hit the back button. So our module is working. That's going to come up, and then here's our interface right here. I'll go over those features next. Actually, one second, I am going to kind of talk about the leads real quick. Here, you can go ahead. Get that out of the way. So these leads come with labels. So this one here says camera 2, camera 1, and then there's a 3 and a 4. So these are noted in the instructions, which come in the box. But camera 1 is going to be your left turn, camera 2 is going to be your right turn, camera 3 is going to be your front camera or other camera if you're not doing a front, and then cam 4 will be for the rear trailer, or if you're doing a brake light or whatever. So we'll go through all that. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get going on the doors next. So I'm going to go ahead and prep up for that, and we will be back here shortly. I'll show you disassembling the doors and what's involved in routing the harnesses inside, all that good stuff. So hang tight, be back shortly. All right, guys, we're back. Next, we're going to start on the mirror cameras. This is going to be a two-part video, but I'm going to show you getting this door panel off. You have to start by getting that little panel out there. There's a 7mm behind there. Little panel right there comes out, 2 7s under there. This panel comes off, which is very tight. We've gone ahead and loosened it, but this is a very tight one. Again, you're going to feel like you're going to snap something. And then we've got 2 down here at the bottom of the door, and then this thing's just going to pop off. So we're going to go ahead and show you this. Right angle pick, get that little panel out. Same with that. There's a little notch at the bottom of it. You can grab it and just pop it right out. Okay. Alright, pry tool, just get in there, and it is very, very tight. Like I said, we went ahead and loosened it, but it's got some pretty tight clips that go into those yellow slots. And then that 7mm, you're going to need a longer extension. It's buried back in there. So there's that, and then the 2 down there, and again we're going to start snapping. Now, I like to start at the bottom and get those broken loose. Once you do that, it all just kind of comes apart. So you want to angle it out there. Get yourself fully disconnected. And then up and over the door lock. And then in here, kind of gets tough to work with, but we got a little banana clip right there. That's the door handle cable. That just pulls out and around, and then the cable comes up out of the slot. And then we've got bigger connector over here that's got to be broken off. That's a little, basically like a J clip, I call it. So a little bit of a tedious job here, and then I'm going to show you a trick going back on. We'll get to that when we go back together. But from here, we need to get this trim piece off. So it's just little pop clips. These 2 pop clips, and this whole thing will just come off and out of our way. And then we will be working in here just a little bit, only to get our hands in there to work. There's going to be some, once this is off, there'll be some bolts to get the mirror off so we can actually mount the cameras and then run the wires. So again, we're going to prep, and then I will be back to show you how it's done. All right guys, these tow mirrors can be a little bit of a challenge. They can be a little bit intimidating, but I'm going to kind of show you what I do. So this is going to seem kind of scary, and I have seen these break, so you do have to be careful. But these do just snap off, and then they've got some clips in here that I'm going to need to pick for. So what I'm doing is just enlarging the hole a little bit. These little round slots. And then when I go back together, I'll kind of put that back to where it should be, but you can kind of see how much of a pain in the butt that is. And then that guy will just pop off. Set this aside in a nice protective area where it's not going to get stepped on or whatnot, because these things are not cheap to replace. Pops right off. It's all scary. So from there, I want to point out a couple things. So we've got some T15s to get out all the way around, and then this plastic housing is going to come off. But I also like to get this guy up and out. Again, start over here, pry tool, get that side popped up, and then this will loosen, and it does pull out. You're going to want to get this out of your way as well. This should now just come right off. Plug right here. Okay. And then this lower cap will just pop right off, and we're going to have replacement caps that go right on. Yeah, so that's going to go in the new cap. And our caps are labeled right hand and left hand. So we're going to get this mirror off, and then next we'll show you how to mount and run the camera and get it inside. So I'm going to show you these four 10 mils right here. You got to pop this harness loose, obviously unplug this guy, okay, get it out of the way. And if you're doing this by yourself, it's best to have this window rolled down before you take the door panel off, but then it is going to have to go back up, so that's kind of a pain in the butt. It is nice to have a second pair of hands. This mirror will hang here carefully, but you're going to want to guide it. That's why it's best to be able to go through the other side to kind of hold it and then pull it out. So I'm going to go ahead and get this mirror off, and then we'll be back here in a little bit. I got to remove the other door panel as well, get cameras installed, and then I'll go over that and be back with you. So we're back, mirrors off, and I've gone ahead and mounted the molded camera, which looks like this. It's a nice, beautiful looking piece. Looks like it belongs. You do lose the chrome, but it blends right in with already all the black that's there already. So it's not really a big deal. So if you're hung up on the chrome, you're gonna have to go with the other solution we have, which is the universal style cameras. And you can see it's got the hole there. We've already moved the new piece over. All it'll do is plug right in. Okay. The camera itself is going to kind of run up and through and follow this. So the trick here is you got to get this thing taped tight and secured to the bottom right about there, and in here as far as you can go, and then follow it in here too. Tape it to this factory harness as close as possible. So it basically follows the whole thing, because this guy's still going to come in and out. So we want our camera to stay stuck to this factory harness and slide in and out nicely as well. You're going to drop down, pop this guy off. You can pull the camera harness right through the boot. Okay, and again, same thing, we're going to secure it, and then this is going to go down into the cab. We'll secure this to this, and then we've got extensions that will go, let's see here. I'm missing a piece of the puzzle here. I'll have to figure that out, but we've got extensions that will go from here and then on into the cab to the module, which we're going to go over next. So kind of wanted to show you how to do the module itself. Those extensions are right here. Sorry, that's the bad part of having stuff spread out. So again, that'll just connect here, and then this guy is going to go through the cab and into the module itself to plug in. So here guys, we're back. You can see we've got the so there's the tow mirror camera right there. That's going to get a little more snug as we button everything back up. The mirror's mounted back on. Okay, and then here we go, the wires coming in, taped to the harness. This guy's plugged back in, and so I steered you wrong a while ago. There's going to be this little guy in the kit here, little voltage reducer. It's about, I don't know, 9 inches long or something, with a Molex. And then this guy here is the part that's going to go in the cab. So you can kind of see I've pulled this back. It's just got some, if you get this on you, it can be nasty, but some stick glue, whatever you want to call it. Then I've made a slit right here, which is where my harness is going to go through. But for ease of servicing, I have seen where these guys go bad. So you want to keep this connection here and here inside here. So I'm going to kind of tape this up nice. So the only thing that's going to go through is this long wire. Then I'm going to enter through here. Okay. And then I've taken off this boot. Kind of see there. So this goes like that. It is a J connector. So when this goes into the cavity, it folds down and locks. Okay. And you're going to want to go down through the bottom of the cavity inside the truck. Now you can see I've also removed this sill panel, and you can see I've got a pull wire to help me go through and bring everything in through here real nice. So I'm going to go about that next. This part in here can be a little bit tricky. If you want to just take this off and get it out of the way, you can, because you can see you've got to go up. Sorry about that. Kind of seeing there a little bit better. So it is a little bit tight, but we're going to pull that harness through and then get it routed up to our module to plug into that harness there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next, and I will be back to show you. Alright guys, I wanted to take a minute to point this out because I had a customer just yesterday message me on how to get through the door. So first of all, you can see I have the extension, and it's kind of hard to do with everything one hand, but this is all going to be taped nice here like that, some of it might be here. Then it goes through the boot. Okay, and all our connections are out here where we can service them if the door panel's off. And then what you want to do is go ahead and get this side of the boot off as well. So there's no denying this is the hardest part of this install, getting the wire through this boot and inside the cab. So as you can see, I've got another pull wire here, and it's gonna go. I went ahead and pulled this out, went through that nice and easy. I've got it taped through the pull wire, and then I'm gonna gently work it through. It's gonna come out the top side, and then I can kind of, you know, move things around and go into the bottom here, attach it, and pull it through into the cab. So that's kind of how it's going to go. Wanted to point that out because this is a pretty challenging part. Alright guys, so a couple things I want to show you here. This rubber gasket right here is held on with some clips. So if you go in there with a pick, bring this side out first and then go back in with the back side and pop this up. What you want to do is get this guy off. And then there's slots for them right on the door. Okay, and that allows you to go ahead and put this guy in place, so you're not fighting it trying to get the door back on. Then all we got to do is get this guy in the hole, plug it up, and it's all simply going to snap back in place, and these will click right into the door nice, so it sits just like factory. Okay, kind of see what I did with my connection there. Alright, taped up nice to this harness, so everything's loose, comes in the cab, everything's nice and zip tied up, and then it comes in up here. Again, cam 2 is right, connected to power and ground, plugged right in. Can't really see it. Let me get onto the other side here for you. Down here, I guess you can't really see that label very well, but cam 1 is left, power ground, RCA. And then as usual, I like to test if I can get this to both are working. This door is open over here and pointing at a white wall, so that's why it's looking that way. But I got images on both left and right. Tap the screen, go back to home. There you have it. I don't have another pair of hands. Let me blinker, and the right came on. Same with the left. I'll give an overview at the end, but so that tells me my doors are done. I'm gonna go ahead and button things up, get them back together, then begin on the front and the rear. Following up from yesterday, we held the truck over to kind of get things finished up, but I wanted to show you the outcome of our trailer camera. Wired version now instead of the wireless, as it's been discontinued. This comes with really nice aviation cable, so it's nice and weatherproof, strong. It's going to hold up in the elements. Comes with, you know, Loctite connectors. Both. This would be on the trailer side here. Screws on there, all weather tight. So that's going to be your coil connection between the trailer and then the bumper, where it plugs in right there. If you're pulling using a hitch to pull a trailer. If you're doing a fifth wheel, you'd want to come in here and mount it right down there in that side right there. Or depending on the year of the truck, I would actually recommend on 14 through 19 IO5, IO6 version trucks going on this side, simply because you're going to want to follow. There's factory harnessing that runs. In fact, you can kind of see we've got it zip tied to that cable there, and then it goes all the way, continues on up into the cab, and there is a trailer brake cable going through here, and we just kind of go up through that grommet, reseal it, and I brought it up through the dash there. Okay, and now we can kind of give you a final outcome of the system. So of course let me close this door. So our left and right will auto activate. Front will auto activate when speed up, which, so there's the front. Once you're in drive, that will shut off around 7-8 miles per hour. It's not exact, but right around there. And then rear wireless, just to give you an idea of the picture that's on it. Nice clean picture, super vibrant. So we can also do this for that angle. So for towing your RVs and whatnot, that's pretty sweet. Left and right. Okay, or pull them up individually as needed. So there you have it, guys. Pretty impressed with the outcome of this setup, and so finally got a video for you guys to show you how this wired camera is going to work. A little bit more of an install, but it's going to be much more durable, much more reliable than the wireless anyway. So if you know these RVs and whatnot, you're not going to want to keep replacing stuff. So this is actually a better solution in my opinion. But yeah, let us know what you think. Reach out anytime. Feel free to give us a ring. Messages here. Appreciate you watching.